port, but I mean, it's going to be exciting for sure. I think we're going to see a lot of brawls, a lot of fighting in this game, which should be a lot of fun to watch. And I think is going to turn the tide of the game for either team, depending on who can get ahead in the early game.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Aatrox didn't take Ignite. I mean, Renekton has so much healing built in his kit, but potentially not looking to try to 1v1 him as much as utilizing that teleport towards a bot lane play or with the dragon. But as we saw last game, JHS took teleport as well in the top lane and wasn't able to use it as effectively, just continually getting stunned under turret by the Volibear. And it might be a similar story here. Renekton's job might be to harass Aatrox as soon as they see a drag fight starting or something like that, making sure he doesn't teleport down and help his team out.
Yeah, and that is going to be a very important thing to make sure that for both teams, either for the Renekton to make sure that he doesn't get that Aatrox doesn't get those teleports off, or for Shocky to make sure that if he is teleporting, he's doing it from a safe place where Renekton can't just E up to him and stun him out of it. But I think that honestly, as strange as it sounds for such a heavy brawl lane, I think the teleport is the right pick here. He's going to be able to make a lot more plays. The fights against Renekton are really coin flippy. It's going to be very much a skill matchup determining who gets ahead in that lane. But if he can teleport bot lane or mid lane or to those dragon fights, he'll be able to do a lot more damage to the squishier members of the team and potentially give himself a lot more impact as the game goes on.
Yeah, for sure. I think that teleport from Shocky is going to be a huge game changer in this game, whether he can use it effectively or not. Looking towards the mid lane, we only slightly commented on the fact that Set probably has a bit of an advantage there. Is there anything else you want to comment on with that Yasuo Set matchup you don't see too often?
You really don't. Set mid lane is surprising. I was not expecting that pick to come out. I won't lie to you. But I do think, there are a lot of tools to enable that Yasuo on the side of JHS, excuse me. So we may see him, hitting some very big ultimates, and especially with Yasuo's passive giving him double crit, if he can get just a little bit of gold in his pocket, he will be quite big. We're going to see a resume here in just a few seconds, and we'll get into the game hopefully and figure out if all of this is conjecture or if we're right about any of it.
Even if we're right about any of it, that's okay. And look at the Blitzcrank skin coming out from Cheng, just continuing to give the viewers what they want. I have not even seen that before. That looks like a Vel'Koz eye on top, as it looks like they might be going for another invade here. And that's what you want to see when you have Blitzcrank on your team. And that's why I'm picking these guys to win. I want to see these fun plays. Kai'Sa just holding into bush and falling off at a good pace. They know the ward's there. They know that they've been spotted out. So grabbing a bit of a 10 gold before they head into lane there. Doran's shield buys from all carries in the game. Again, this is a full 80 game, except for Set just taking that shield early as he does so well.
Yeah, I am not surprised to see all those Doran blades coming out. It's nice to see. I think, again, once this game gets rolling, we're going to see some serious brawls. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and there's going to be brawls in every lane. Set, Yasuo, Renekton, Aatrox, just absolute bruiser boys. And so if you're Skarner or Udyr, is there a specific lane that you're going to be targeting here, or is it just because everybody can get ahead? It's going to depend on which lane is the most available.
I think it's mostly going to be on which lane is the most available, although you do want to try to get that Yasuo ahead because Yasuo is such a strong character. Did I have frozen? Has your stream frozen as well?
As have I. I believe the stream is a little bit frozen. As soon as we figure out what's going on, we'll let you guys know, as I think production just might be working on something. And we are finally unpaused. I think we're going to do an early time check here, as that could have set us a little bit behind production. If you just want to let me know when you're ready for a time chat in our chat. But beyond that, okay, yeah, we're going to do, that's another bit of lag, and a Set doing a lot of damage early. Do a time check here. So right now I'm at 152, 153, 154, 155. Let me know if we need to pause or play. It looks like we're ahead 1 second. Fault, I don't know if you had the same time as me.
Yep, I'm right with you. So we'll pause for 1 second.
Yep, 3, 2, 1, pause, 1, play. And so now we're at 209, 210, 211. Hopefully that's a little bit more in sync. And it looks like we're all good here as Renekton doing a lot of damage to this Aatrox early, taking E second. Usually he might go WQ, but the Conqueror proc of the Q. Look at the damage onto Shocky there. And that's going to be tough to deal with as Renekton still has the Ignite on Gen Desori. Might be able to look for a level 3 dive here.
Yeah, Aatrox, excuse me, I almost said Shocky, is not too strong until he can get level 4 or 5, especially into someone that can just dive through the tip of his Qs and bring the damage right to him. He generally wants to hang back and get those main damage segments of his Qs onto his opponents, but until he gets a few points in his Q, he's working with long cooldowns and not a lot of mobility.
Oh, look at the E coming out from Aatrox into the top lane as well. And so many extended trades in the mid lane, but both players up. A W from Set, not going to be able to catch Yasuo in the middle of it, but at least gets him on the side. It's going to be really tough to track that Yasuo down as he dashes all over the place, but at least he has the E engaged to help him out with that a little bit.
Yes, he does. And
and look at the W into Aatrox into the Ignite, and Aatrox having to flash away from that. He's going to be able to get out of that one.
Just barely by the skin of his teeth. And we can see the poke damage from Varus is right back to where it was. Will we see? No, he's going to back all the way off and make sure that he doesn't get tower dove. Very smart there. He could have, with the Udyr right there, they could have dove him pretty easily if he'd stuck under tower. So I think that was definitely the right call.
Yeah, and again, just utilizing this teleport effectively is going to be a huge game changer. Wow, look at that vision going from Skarner. Getting 3 people in the bot river. That's going to be a lot of vision for the side of JHS. Good job by the Skarner there to be able to hit that bush.
Yeah, spectacular timing from him as well. And not a lot of action from the jungle this game. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a bit more presence from either of them, but I guess they're just waiting to farm up and get those items. They don't really contribute too much, and they're going to have a hard time catching some of these team members as in the early game and before they get that chem tank under their belts.
Yeah, exactly. And look at the hook from Blitzcrank ZYH Chen right when you need it, but Alistar able to put him back. Udyr is rotating down. Chang just going crazy and continuing to.
But that is exactly why we said that Alistar is a counter to Blitzcrank. I mean, you saw how easily he was able to disengage himself. He matched the knockup with Blitz, so it was kind of net neutral there. Neither one of them was really in a great position. And then he just W'd the Blitzcrank away and he was out. I mean, that's all it takes for the Alistar to say no to Blitzcrank.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough champion to be hooking in and get a kill as he's able to disengage himself so easily. And it looks like an early dragon attempt here as 5 minutes into the game. They're going to drag that dragon out of pit and attempt to start it. Yasuo rotating down as well as Set both bot lanes there, the jungles as well. All 4 players from both teams around drag. And it looks like JHS might just let ALG take this one.
Yeah, I think they are going to. I think Yasuo is going to trade that for some farm in the mid lane. He doesn't have a lot of damage items right now. He doesn't have a lot going for him, so he wouldn't be able to provide too much in that fight. And I think that's, honestly, for a Mountain Drake, I think they're better off just playing safe.
Yeah, especially as you said, without the items, it looks like Set already has his Vampiric Scepter, whereas Yasuo only has that Doran's Blade and boots. They're pretty even in gold, but Set just has had the better back into that drag fight. So good job by the team of ALG to recognize their advantage in items and pressure a drag out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just pushing that bot lane as well, getting that priority so that there wasn't too much that JHS could do about it was very important. We see the Renekton going in. What can he do? He can dash in, stun, Q, dash out. That's Renekton.
Yeah, just going to try to get that Aatrox as low as possible before popping the Ignite on him and going for an all-in. So Renekton continuing to put a lot of pressure onto the Aatrox in the top lane. But, I mean, all in all, the Aatrox is still up by about 8 CS here, which is almost a full kill. So Aatrox doing a good job, even though he is getting bullied a little bit damage-wise, able to keep the CS in his favor. And now re-engage Renekton, ultimate into the W, into the Ignite. Now the ultimate coming out from Aatrox. Good engage by Renekton, but Aatrox, again, able to fall off of that. Skarner was rotating up. Renekton had to fall off there. Might have been able to go for a kill, but good map awareness by Skarner to be able to rotate up and not allow his top laner to go down early.
Yeah, unfortunate that he couldn't have been there a bit quicker to help out with that fight, but very good job of Aatrox just using the ultimate to get out of there. Uh, it's a very interesting matchup in the top lane because you have two champions with very defined trade patterns. I mean, they both have essentially one main game plan that they want to be using in every fight, and it's neat to see how they interact and how two skilled players can kind of make those patterns work for them against somebody else.
Yeah, skilled players all over the map, and we're seeing a bit more hesitance this game, playing a little bit safer, not contesting drags early, not forcing fights that need to happen. And I think that's the result of this game being the third game in a best of three. I don't think either team here is ready to stop playing, but unfortunately, that's what's going to happen after this game. One team is going home and viewing for the rest of the tournament, and so neither team wanting to take any big risks and have that be them so far in this game.
I think you're absolutely right. And I don't blame either team for playing it a little bit safer and trying to hang back. We do see just a short little trade there. Not too much going to happen off of that.
Yeah, at a bit of a standstill at this point, maybe just waiting for the next Drake to come up to try something. All lanes warding quite effectively, not allowing themselves to be caught out by a gank or anything. It looks like Udyr is actually going for the Rift Herald here, and Yasuo is rotated up to potentially to try to make him stop it. It looks like Aatrox is going to push this wave here and then potentially rotate down. Set is going to rotate up towards the Rift to try and help his teammate to secure it.
I think that Rift is going to be gone. It doesn't look like there's very much that the JHS can do about it. And yep, the Udyr does pick up the...
another flash knockup from Alistar, able to get behind the Blitzcrank and W and back. Flashing out is the Blitzcrank. A nice use of flash there as Skarner rotated down. Good initiation from the bot lane, but just not enough burst damage to take down the Blitzcrank yet.
Unfortunately not. But yeah, very, very, very good disengage from the side of ALG there. Just misses the E.
Oh, man. And that would have been deadly for Set as Skarner and Alistar was rotating up. So Yasuo maybe would have thought to even dash into that one to let himself get hit. And now Renekton ulting into the top lane, and that's going to be the Udyr support behind him. A dash out from Aatrox might get him out of there. Turning around for a second, he has to be careful as both these champions are trying to collapse onto him. 3 members of JHS in the mid lane to support that Aatrox, allowing his great escape out and not letting the side of ALG pinch him. But now in the bot lane, Kai'Sa has been 2v1ing for quite a little bit, which is pretty advantageous as she's going to get all that solo golden XP.
Yes, she is. And yeah, that was a very, very nice escape from the side of Shocky there to just use his ultimate again to run away, keep himself alive, better than trying to fight anything, especially into someone like Renekton, who is going to be hard for him to take down unless he really outplays him. Interesting buys from the side of Shocky. We see the Ninja Tabbies, which is obviously great into a full AD team like this, but the double Doran Blades is an interesting call.
Yeah, you'd usually only see the double Dorans if you're quite a little bit ahead, and the lane fairly even, although up by 15 CS now. And just looking at other lanes in terms of CS, this Set is up by 20 CS into the mid lane, just showing how much of a better early game champ he is than Yasuo. Now, Udyr maybe getting caught out here, has to flash away from the side of JHS as the dragon is up, and this might be one dragon a piece. Now re-engaging into the jungle, a nice knock-up from Aatrox into the Yasuo ultimate, and now Chen getting caught out a little bit here. The first blood finally going down at 11 minutes, and now Set getting caught out here in the ultimate from Skarner, not going to allow him to W. You've been CC'd for a few minutes, my friend, and now 2 kills down into the dragon from the side of JHS as finally we see some action in this game, and the first blood going to the side of JHS.
That was a very nice engage from Shocky there. I knew that I saw him hanging over that wall, and I had a feeling he was going to take it as soon as he could. And no hesitation from the Yasuo to just dive right in there at the first sign of a knock-up. And yeah, that was a fantastic play overall from the whole team on JHS's side. They get the Infernal Drake, which is going to be quite big. And ALG is not going to be able to do too much about it. Going to get a couple plates here top maybe, but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, again, a great engage there. I'm not even sure if it was the Aatrox knock-up or the Alistar one, but again, Yasuo just jumping up at the first chance he could. Set's passive was completely stacked up for like that entire fight, but they just changed CC on him so hard, and now the fight going into the top lane. Aatrox doing a lot of damage onto the Renekton, but then the Renekton ulti coming out. I think Udyr was spotted in the brush there, or maybe Aatrox just got a bit of a funny feeling now. Rift Herald dropping towards the top lane. Aatrox has to back off there and just allow his turret to go down.
unfortunate for Shockey. He could have had that. I believe he really could have picked up the Renekton there if Udyr didn't rock his way up to top lane.
Oh, and now ulting his way out of there is Sep, but the Blitzcrank re-engaged with the ultimate, and now both players just kind of walking back. That was a bit interesting. I think Sep was very worried that he was going to get ulted there, and so ulting himself outside of the fight was his intentions there, and it looks like Renekton is just calling out a bit of a lag, and we're going to go into the second pause of the game here.
Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward fight in the mid lane. A lot burned for not a lot of result on both teams. Ego has disconnected, and hopefully we'll see him come back in a minute as well. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
I mean, it's been a pretty slow standard game. Again, both teams not trying to go down too much too early, but you're seeing that huge team fight ability from the side of JHS. I called it out before the game where I think they have a bit of a better comp in terms of their ability to team fight. And now looking towards the mid lane, Yasuo able to get another ulti off. The Ignite going on to Seppi. He's not taking a lot of damage there. Still hasn't popped his W. Now getting knocked up again, trying to re-engage. Gonna fall off. And another bit of a mini trade into the mid lane here. As I was saying, I think that JHS doing a great job comboing their ultimates and abilities to utilize them effectively in the team fight. I'd like to see ALG go for some more individual kills here, maybe just trying to do a single gank or having a bit more engage with their laners. But so far, pretty standard from what we thought in the intro.
I would agree. And ALG, despite being down 2 kills, ALG is still up 1k gold from that tower top. And as well as the plate in bot lane. So they do still have a little bit of a lead. This game is pretty even. I don't think we can call it in either direction just yet, but I think you're right.
No, not at all. And look at the ultimate. Look at the distance that he can get him by and slowing him again as Yasuo coming up the E from Zed to try to disengage, but it's not going to be enough as Alistar is able to knock him up. The W not even going to come through. Yasuo able to get the kill in the mid lane, pardon me, but now looking towards the top lane. Flash out from Shockey. Don't know about that flash, my friend. I think you just wasted a summoner. You were already dead. Trades going out in the mid top lane. One apiece for ALG and JHS.
Yeah, both very, very nice. We didn't get
and now looking towards the bot lane. Go for it.
Very, very smart to save that Q from the Alistar to extend that CC a little bit longer as he bumped him into the wall. Unfortunately, the Varus is able to get away, but just a great engage from Alistar. Both, all players from JHS roaming down together and picking up a nice kill for themselves. And we're getting a quick little time check here from production. I'm at 14:06, 7, 8, 9, 10. Frozoni, I'm not sure if you're with me.
You were just a bit ahead of me, and I think, okay, we are going to pause for a second. We can go 3, 2, 1, pause, 1, play, and now I'm 14, 22, 23, 24. How am I with you?
I think I may just be a little bit ahead of you, but I don't think it's enough that it'll make much of a difference.
Okay, it looks like production just said we're all good as well, so we should be a little bit more in sync for the next team fights. It looks like we got a clip dropped in chat, so if you missed the first fight of the game, or if you just want to see that crazy Yasuo ultimate again, feel free to click on that and take a bit of a peek as the members of JYC able to grab the hook.
Cheng showing exactly why they keep him around and why they picked him that Blitzcrank. We do see the Yasuo trying to go in on the set in the mid lane, but it's not going to happen. He's going to back out for now. And yeah, Cheng, you can't write him off with those hooks, even into a counter pick lane. He's just as effective outside of lane as he is in it. And it looks like the Rift Herald is going to go down for the side of ALG as well. The second one they've got in this game, which is quite a big advantage if they can use it effectively.
Yeah, ALG using their, or pardon me, just kind of going for objectives right now. They are down a couple kills, but again, up by 1.3k gold, and that's just from the tower as well as the rifts that they've been getting and continuing with this objective theme. But now look at the collapse in the mid lane.
Nice set, manages to ult himself out, but it's not going to be quite enough, or is it? No, it's not. Getting absolutely collapsed on. Very unfortunate. He almost managed to get the Alistar there with the tower damage, but it just wasn't enough. And will we see the rest of ALG moving up towards the fight? Looks like they're going to try to defend this mid lane tower. Yeah,
potentially too, and Varus might get caught out here.
Oh, big Skarner ult drags him away from the team, and he just gets absolutely demolished. Shockey jumps back in with the Q, but it's not enough to continue the fight. And unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be giving up the Ocean Drake here Without their those two members of their team, without Set and Varus, I don't believe there's much that the rest of ALG can do except for drop the Rift Herald mid and potentially get that tower. I think that's a worthwhile trade for ALG if they can get the tower and get out of there before the rest of JHS roams up.
I think
And
that's
they
a good
will.
play there. That was pretty much a free dragon from the side of JHS, so you have to try and do something somewhere else on the map. Great utilization of that Rift Herald towards the mid, able to get themselves a second tower, now 2 towers to 0. And although, again, they're down 4 kills and a single drag, they're still up in gold, so continuing to extend their lead here, even if it's not exactly where you'd expect. Coming out from that fight, though, take a look at how big the Yasuo is. All the kills going on him, and now a 4-0-1 Yasuo to an 0-3-0 Set in the mid lane.
That is going to be very, very scary for the rest of ALG. He's got that shield bow already and a BF sword and full boots, which compared to Set, who's got boots and not even a full item yet, is a huge disadvantage. He is going to be very important for ALG to watch out for in those fights and make sure that they're not getting caught out, not getting knocked up as a big group. Even more so than that was important already.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like we're having a bit of a lane swap here as bot lane from ALG has rotated up towards the mid as Set's no longer able to deal with the Yasuo, and now Set into the bot lane, just going to try to farm up and get a little bit of gold back, pardon me, from his 0-3-0 early start here.
Yeah, and lots of pings. They're warning to be careful in the bot lane. I'm not sure what ALG is trying to do right now. Maybe just trying to bush camp and wait for someone to roam down, or they're all going to move on to the Yasuo in the mid lane, go for that shutdown.
Oh, and look, this is a juicy Yasuo. Smite coming in, and now the Renekton ultimate coming out as well, able to get stunned, and that's 4 players on a Yasuo. That shutdown's going to go down, and just like you predicted, great macro play from ALG to be able to continue to drag this one towards their favor.
For sure, and that's what we were talking about in draft as well, with all that single target CC, the stuns from Udyr and Renekton. If they can move around as a team and get those individual picks outside of the 5v5 team fights, that's going to give them the advantage they need, especially when it's a big shutdown like the Yasuo. They're going on to the Kai'Sa as well, but the Alistar is going to flash over and knock Udyr away. I don't think he's going to be able to do much to follow up. Both teams roaming down towards this dragon. Will we see Udyr gets out, flashes over the wall. The Alistar gets pulled into the team by Blitzcrank. And I think that's going to be just... No, Skarner hits the big ult onto the Varus. Not quite enough, though. Set diving in. I'm amazed nobody's gone down yet. Shocky doing his best to zone the team off. Getting pulled back in, and Shocky will go down. We will see this Skarner go down to the Set as well in the back of the fight. That was a long team fight. I am very surprised that lasted that long.
Yeah, it got a bit confusing there in the middle. It just seemed like it started with a couple players, and slowly but surely everybody joined the party. The text message went out to the group chat, and all 10 members ended up getting there. A bit of a awkward start with positioning, but ALG able to re-engage after the Skarner going for a big flash ultimate, was able to pull Set backwards, but Udyr now 2-0-2 with his chem tank already built. That's a scary bear.
It really is. And again, we're seeing those huge hooks coming out from Cheng as we saw in the last game. Not quite as flashy as the ones we saw there, but he was able to keep players in that team fight who were trying to get out as hard as they could. And it was quite nice to see, honestly. I think he really turned that fight around for the side of ALG.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that one was clipped in chat. I think I'm going to have to go back and watch that because a very awkward extended team fight. But overall, ALG getting another W. It seems like every time they go down a little bit, they're able to do something else, take advantage of all the utility wasted on the side of JHS and really bring things back into their favor. And that's showing in the gold lead as they have about a 3.5K gold lead 20 minutes into this game.
Yeah, they have been masters of the comeback so far. Every time, as you said, every time they get knocked down a peg, they come back stronger. So I think you were right, maybe to switch teams. We'll have to see though. They're certainly who I'm rooting for right now. I know I'm supposed to stay unbiased, but I think I gotta jump on their side. I would love to see them make this a reverse sweep.
Exactly. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with being biased here, especially because it's looking like I might be 3 for 3 with my picks so far in this matchup. However, again, 2 great teams, definitely not over until it's over. Only a 3.5K gold lead, only 20 minutes in, only it's gone. And now with drag coming up in 20 seconds, it looks like both teams are going to be trying to set up for it. JHS with slightly advantageous position so far. And now
both
looking to
look like they're gonna
group
stay
up, and
engaged.
Udyr's running into a bush with a whole lot of people there. Aatrox able to get the stun up, and now Renekton ulting, trying to get a first E in and able to E in onto the Skarner. A huge ultimate from Set into the stun on 4 people. And now look at the damage coming out from Varus, and now trying to dive the backline. Still nobody dead. Finally, Yasuo going down, and Udyr quite low. Oh my goodness, Udyr able to get out of that. Renekton diving the backline. Look at the Q damage onto both players. Udyr now able to get a double kill, and Aatrox stuck between 5 members. That's going to be 3 players down from the side of JHS into the Dragon for ALG as they continue to dominate this game.
That's gotta hurt for JHS. Most of that team was so low for the entire fight, but they just couldn't bring them down. I was amazed that Shocky was able to stay at full health for so long. I guess that's the Gore Drinker and just the perks of being Aatrox, but he was right in the middle of them for a lot of that fight, doing a lot to try to save his team and get them out of there, but it just wasn't enough as he did eventually go down. That's going to be Dragon and Baron, it looks like, for the side of ALG, which is crippling for JHS.
Yeah, a great decision there to send Udyr to solo Drake. You know, he is 4-0-3. He is level 13. It's late enough in the game that he can do it. So why not send the last 4 players top to secure Baron? You get 2 huge objectives, let alone the triple kill to start that fight, setting yourself up in a great position for the second half of this game.
Yeah, 3 kills and Dragon and Baron for nothing. Nothing lost on the side of ALG besides a couple cooldowns. That's about as good of a fight as you can hope for. Looks like everybody's just going to back out and reset, get some gold. And we can see the gold advantage in the jungle is definitely the biggest. Although the top lane is looking fairly one-sided as well.
Yeah, that Renekton 1-0-7. I maybe would have predicted that he would have had a few more kills, but great engage. And now you're seeing the engage again. A nice hook from Blitzcrank into the Varus. And there you go. Another kill on the set as he's brought it back from 0-3-0. Now 2-3-4. Just getting a little bit caught out there is the Alistar. And that would have been the stride breaker from Renekton, putting him forward. Look at the Hex Flash over the wall from Blitzcrank. Absolutely love to see it. Throwing a little bit of a hook out while we get the inhibitor down in the mid lane and the Baron minions continue to push.
Looks like they're going to back out here and maybe try to push some of those side lanes a little bit more. Will we see them split up, or are they all just going to keep roaming as 5? I think they're just going to stick together and see what they can pick up. But yeah, the Renekton has 100% kill participation right now. He has been a part of everything that's happened this game.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that. Wow, look at that. Jean de Sori just using everything on all over the map.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be getting some bot towers here as well. Unfortunately, there's not much JHS can do about it because they are locked in their base defending against those super minions. At 24 minutes in the game, the team is not that well equipped to deal with super minions yet, so it will be quite crippling in terms of keeping them in their base.
Yeah, for sure. Able to get the tier 1 turret and potentially comboing this into a tier 2. They had to push out. Oh, and look at that. Just completely blown up is Kai'Sa. She disappeared there.
Yeah, I mean, the damage at this point, the damage coming out from the Varus, from the Udyr, even from the set, is surprising.
Oh, and now Alistar jumping up, and the Yasuo ultimate into 3 people, and a great engage here as all players are going down here. Renekton actually able to get a double kill onto the initial engage by JHS, and although that was a good engage, there's way too much damage coming out from the side of ALG as 4 players go down, now re-engaging onto the Aatrox, trying to get that last kill, acing the team, flashing away as Aatrox, not going to be able to do it as he's healing up and trying to re-engage there. Inhibitor going down, and now with 4 players down, they might be looking to end here.
Yeah, I have a feeling this might be game. We'll see if there's anything that Kai'Sa and Aatrox can do. And the stream has frozen, which I believe means that the game might be over.
And there you have it, folks.